Thunder shook Castle Drakemont as lightning split the skies, the walls trembling under the storm's fury. A violent gust burst open a hidden wooden door, revealing a stairwell shrouded in darkness. Sir Alden gripped his chest, the curse within him stirring as whispers coiled into his mind. A hollow voice hissed, "The king will fall by hands closest to his throne." His jaw tightened as the weight of betrayal pressed upon him. Rowan flinched in the shadows, fear plain in his eyes. "We must warn King Edric before it's too late," Rowan whispered. Sir Alden raised a hand sharply. "Ninny, not yet. If we speak now, the betrayer may strike before dawn." The distant bell tolled, heavy and foreboding, its echo rolling through the castle halls. Both men stared into the stairwell's void, where silence breathed like a beast waiting to devour them. The stairwell spiraled into a chamber, sealed since the reign of the first king. Sir Alden's boots scraped across the stones as a faint sigil pulsed on the floor. Whispers returned, coiling in his ears. "The traitor sits among the council," the voice hissed. Rowan's voice trembled. "Your curse has opened what should never be touched." Sir Alden's jaw clenched, eyes locked on the glowing symbol. "I carry this weight, not King Edric," he said. The storm howled above, wind whistling through cracks in the chamber ceiling, carrying the sound of snapping banners. Rowan lingered at the edge of the circle, fear rooting his steps. The light of the sigil grew brighter, searing Sir Alden's face as he muttered, "The king must not know. Not yet." In the library, Master Elric hunched over ancient scrolls, candlelight flickering across his weary face. His voice was low, "The curse stirs again." His thin fingers traced prophecy lines as shelves shuddered from thunder outside. Dust fell like ash between rows of tomes. Sir Alden entered, armor clinking softly. "Tell me, Master Elric," he said, "is doom written in every word you guard?" The mentor closed his eyes, exhaustion weighing down his breath. "Truths cannot be stopped, only endured," Elric answered. Rowan stood silently at the doorway, hesitant to enter the circle of secrets. The flames wavered, shadows stretching long, as if the books themselves leaned closer to hear the exchange. Rain swept the castle courtyard, cobblestones gleaming under lightning. Lady Seraphine stood defiant, emerald cloak whipping in the wind. Her eyes burned as she whispered, "The king's throne trembles, and so does my heart." Sir Alden's steps echoed as he approached, armor clashing louder than thunder. "Your presence here defies reason," he said, his voice stern. Lady Seraphine met his gaze without flinching. "So does love," she replied. A lightning flash carved her defiance into the night, and for a breath, Sir Alden forgot the curse shackled to him. But unease twisted inside him, the prophecy's shadow unshaken. Rowan slipped silently under an archway, eyes dark with secrets, watching without a word. Rowan stood alone in the stables, dagger trembling in his hand. "I am nothing beside a cursed knight," he muttered, voice tight with fear. Horses stamped nervously, storm winds rattling the lantern above. The air reeked of hay and rain, thick with unease. Rowan's breath quickened, thoughts racing to the battles ahead. "No one will sing my name," he whispered bitterly, "yet I will stand by Sir Alden." Lightning crashed, filling the stable with white fire, and in that moment his resolve solidified. Though doubt clawed at him, Rowan's loyalty would burn brighter than fear. "I will not leave his side," he vowed, gripping the dagger tighter. "Even if death itself takes me." The great courtyard filled with clamor as soldiers of Drakemont armed themselves for the coming siege. Sir Alden's voice rang out over the storm, "Steel your hearts. Tonight decides the fate of King Edric's realm." Rowan tightened the strap on his dagger and muttered, "I'll not falter, even if my name dies with me." Lady Seraphine approached, emerald cloak clinging to her form in the rain. She whispered sharply, "Your courage hides your curse, Alden, but curses do not bleed for kings." Sir Alden met her gaze, replying, "Curses bend when loyalty demands it." Master Elric leaned on his staff at the gate, his frail voice carrying across the clashing metal. Strength is not in the arm but in the will that guides it. Do not forget, my children, the storm outside is nothing compared to the one within these walls. Dark clouds swirled above as a raven circled the spires, cawing an omen. Rowan glanced upward uneasily. Even the skies warn us. Lady Seraphine gripped her cloak tighter, saying, "This storm is more than weather, it is prophecy clawing at our walls." Sir Alden placed his hand on the hilt of his blade. Prophecies are chains. Only battle breaks them. Master Elric closed his eyes, whispering, "When the wind turns black, it carries the cries of the damned." Rowan shivered at the words. "Do you speak of our enemies, or of us?" The old mentor's silence answered more than words. A single lightning bolt struck the battlements, illuminating the sigil carved into the stone. A symbol of betrayal waiting to be unveiled. Far beyond the courtyard, King Edric sat in the war chamber, his crown casting long shadows across the maps before him. His voice was iron. "The enemy strikes at dawn. We hold until the last man." The door creaked, and the antagonist, Lord Malric, stepped inside with calm menace. His words slid like poison. "Dawn brings victory to those with the strongest will, not the largest army." King Edric narrowed his eyes. "Your counsel stinks of ambition, Malric." Lord Malric smirked faintly. "Ambition wins wars, Majesty. Loyalty only buries the dead." The room fell heavy with his words, as though treachery itself had entered with him. King Edric clenched his fists, but his silence gave no answer. In the grand hall, Lord Malric stood before the council, voice smooth as silk. "Our borders crumble, yet you cling to hope. Hope is a fool's coin." Several councillors murmured nervously. Sir Alden entered with Rowan at his side, his armor still wet from the storm. "You speak like a man eager for the king's fall," Alden said coldly. Lord Malric spread his hands, smiling. "I speak as one who loves this realm more than any cursed knight." Rowan's voice broke into the silence. "Your love smells of betrayal." The chamber quieted, and for a breath only the rain could be heard hammering the roof. Malric's smile lingered, but his eyes flared with venom. "Mind your tongue, boy, or it will be cut." At the edge of the keep, a flash of light split the rain, and from the shadows emerged the magical guardian, a towering spectral wolf with eyes like burning stars. Rowan gasped, dagger half drawn. "What devil walks before us?" Sir Alden held his ground, jaw tight. "Not devil, guardian." The wolf's voice rumbled in words not spoken but felt. "The king's last stand is written in the marrow of stone. Trust will be broken. Blood will drown loyalty." Lady Seraphine stepped forward, voice trembling. "Speak plain, spirit. Who betrays the king?" The wolf's head lowered, its breath cold mist. "The betrayer sits in council, cloaked in trust." Its form flickered like smoke, then dissolved into the storm. Sir Alden stood in the armory, his hand trembling as he tightened the straps of his gauntlets. Rowan watched uneasily and said, "Your curse is eating you alive." Sir Alden slammed his fist against the table, the sound echoing through the chamber. "The curse is a chain I carry, not one that breaks me." His reflection in the polished steel helm revealed eyes rimmed with shadows. Rowan whispered, "I see cracks where you see chains." Sir Alden gritted his teeth, forcing the helmet over his head. "Cracks do not matter when the enemy waits at our gates. We bleed for King Edric, curse or no curse." Rowan lowered his gaze, his silence carrying fear heavier than words. Rowan lingered near the training yard, dagger clutched tightly in his palm. He muttered, "No song will sing my name, yet I will still bleed beside him." Lady Seraphine approached, rain dripping from her cloak. "Why cling to a man cursed by fate?" Rowan's voice cracked. "Because loyalty does not weigh worth, it is worth." Lady Seraphine studied him, her gaze softer than usual. "Then pray your loyalty does not kill you." Rowan lifted his chin, eyes sharp for the first time. "Death is nothing if I stand with Sir Alden." The clash of steel rang nearby as soldiers sparred, but Rowan's words cut sharper than their blades. In the library, Master Elric traced the ink of prophecy with trembling fingers. Sir Alden demanded, "What do you hide from me, old man?" Master Elric's eyes glistened. "The curse upon you was not born of chance but of choice." Sir Alden staggered back, voice rising. "You knew?" Rowan froze at the doorway, caught between shock and fury. Master Elric bowed his head. "I sought to protect the realm, but in binding you, I doomed you." Sir Alden's voice cracked like thunder. "You chained me to ruin." Silence weighed heavy until Rowan whispered, "If even the wise betray us, who remains true?" Beyond the gates, Lord Malric stood among armored men, his cloak whipping in the storm. His voice cut sharp. "The king weakens, and weakness rots kingdoms." One soldier asked, "Shall we move at dawn?" Lord Malric smirked. "Dawn is for fools. We strike when shadows fall deepest." Inside the walls, Sir Alden watched unseen from the ramparts, jaw clenched. "His tongue speaks poison," he muttered. Rowan gripped the stone beside him. "And his ambition spreads like fire." Sir Alden's eyes narrowed. "Then we must be ready to burn with him, or to bury him." Lightning seared the sky, framing Lord Malric's figure like a phantom crowned in deceit. Lord Malric walked alone in the council hall, his reflection dark in the polished floor. He muttered, "Trust is the easiest chain to break." The doors opened, and Lady Seraphine entered quietly, her cloak trailing water. She said coldly, "You weave lies like silk, Malric." He turned with a smile. "Silk binds better than chains." Lady Seraphine's eyes narrowed. "One day, your lies will strangle you." Malric leaned close, voice low and venomous. "Or strangle a king." She gripped her cloak, hiding the tremor in her hands, and left without another word. Alone, Malric's smile twisted as the storm raged against the windows. In the moonlit garden, Lady Seraphine stood among shattered petals, her cloak trailing in the rain. She whispered to Sir Alden, "I was born of the rival bloodline your king once destroyed." Sir Alden froze, his scarred jaw tight with disbelief. "You, a child of Drakemont's enemies." She lifted her chin. "My heart is torn between the king I swore to serve and the man I dare to love." Rowan stepped forward, voice sharp. "You hid this truth from him? You risked his crown for silence?" Seraphine's voice shook, but did not break. "I risked my life for loyalty to Alden." Sir Alden's eyes burned with anguish. "Your blood may betray the king, but your love betrays me most." Inside the library chamber, Master Elric placed his frail hands upon a scroll older than the kingdom itself. "The curse you bear, Alden, was woven by my own hand." Sir Alden staggered back, armor clashing. "You chained me knowingly." Master Elric's eyes welled. "A choice made to save a kingdom from ruin, yet it bound you to sorrow." Rowan clenched his fists, fury trembling in his voice. "You condemned him for power hidden in." Elric bowed his head, shoulders shaking. "I condemned myself with every passing day." Sir Alden's voice was steel, his anger edged with grief. "You were my guide. You became my jailer." Silence fell as the storm rattled every window of the keep. Upon the ramparts, the spectral wolf guardian emerged once more, its silver form pulsing with light. Its voice thundered, "The cursed night carries the prophecy of ruin and redemption." Sir Alden gripped his sword. "Then speak, beast. Tell me my fate." The wolf lowered its glowing eyes. "You are bound to slay the betrayer, but in doing so, you may slay the king." Rowan's face drained of color. "Then the curse is not chains, but a blade in your hand." Lady Seraphine whispered, "Can fate be broken?" The wolf's form flickered. "Only with sacrifice that sears the soul." Sir Alden's hand trembled, and the storm swallowed the wolf's fading light. The council chamber roared with voices until Lord Malric raised his hand. "Silence, cowards. This king cannot lead you." Gasps echoed as King Edric rose, voice like thunder. "You dare to question me in my own hall?" Malric smirked, stepping closer. Your crown is rust. I am the blade to cut this kingdom free. Sir Alden entered with Rowan at his side, shouting, Your mask is torn, Malric. The guardian named the betrayer. Malric's eyes blazed, his voice twisting venom. And still the cursed knight believes prophecy over truth. Tension crackled in the chamber, sharper than the storm beyond its walls. When the chamber emptied, torches sputtered in the silence. Lord Malric remained, standing over the map table, his shadow stretched like a crown of daggers. He whispered, The king will choke on loyalty's blade. Lady Seraphine lingered by the doorway, her eyes sharp. You speak treason freely now. Malric turned, his smile cold as iron. Truth is only treason when spoken too soon. Seraphine's hand hovered near her dagger, but she turned away, cloak swirling. Alone, Malric pressed his palm over the map of Drakemont. This realm is already mine, he hissed. Lightning split the windows, searing his vow into stone. The gates of Drakemont shuddered as enemy war horns thundered through the storm. King Edric slammed his fist upon the battlements. Hold fast, this kingdom shall not bow. Sir Alden raised his blade, shouting, Steel and blood, men of Drakemont. Rowan's voice cracked but carried. I will not fall, not while Alden stands. Lady Seraphine's emerald cloak whipped violently in the wind as she drew her bow. Our walls bleed, but our spirit will not break. The clash of metal against wood roared as the enemy breached the outer gate. Master Elric raised his staff, ancient words trembling from his lips. Stone of the first king, rise and shield us. Sparks of arcane power lit the night as chaos began. The outer walls fell, screams filling the night as fire arrows streaked across the courtyard. Rowan gasped, clutching his dagger tightly. They are endless, Alden. Sir Alden blocked a strike with his shield, sparks exploding. Then we fight until none remain. Lady Seraphine loosed arrow after arrow, each strike felling an armored foe. The storm is ours, not theirs. Master Elric staggered, his voice heavy with exhaustion. The spells wane, Alden. The old magic bleeds away. Sir Alden gritted his teeth, slashing through another enemy. Then my curse will shield this kingdom. Rowan roared in sudden defiance. We are not yet broken. In the chaos, Rowan pushed Sir Alden aside, taking the brunt of a spear that tore across his shoulder. He cried out, collapsing to one knee. Sir Alden caught him, rage burning in his eyes. Why would you shield me, fool? Rowan coughed, gripping Alden's arm. Because your life carries kingdoms. Mine carries only loyalty. Lady Seraphine rushed forward, striking down the assailant with a cry. Rowan, stay with us. Rowan's voice was faint but fierce. Even in death I will never leave Alden's side. Master Elric pressed trembling hands to Rowan's wound, murmuring incantations. Hold fast, boy. The storm cannot take you yet. Lady Seraphine stood torn between the wall and the wounded. If I stay, the gate falls. If I leave, Rowan dies. Sir Alden's voice cracked with fury. Do not choose between crown and heart. Rowan gasped, clutching Alden's gauntlet. Let her fight. The kingdom must live. Seraphine's eyes filled with tears as she whispered, I cannot abandon either of you. Master Elric looked to the storm above. Prophecy never spares love. Go, girl. The walls need you. Seraphine loosed a sob but turned, sprinting toward the gate with bow in hand. Sir Alden's roar of defiance echoed after her. Fight as if your love is the crown itself. King Edric descended into the fray, his crown cast aside as he wielded his sword like a common soldier. Drakemont will not fall while I yet breathe. Lord Malric emerged through the smoke, his black cloak swirling like a shadow. Your breath ends tonight, old king. Their swords clashed, sparks flying as the storm howled above. Sir Alden dragged Rowan aside, fury boiling in his chest. Malric, betrayer! Malric sneered, Cursed knight, you were always my sharpest weapon. Lady Seraphine loosed an arrow, that narrowly missed Malric's throat. Your lies end here. The clash of crown and traitor thundered louder than the storm itself. Master Elric staggered across the courtyard, blood staining his robe, his staff glowing faintly. Sir Alden shouted, "Stay back, you're too weak." Elric raised his hand. "The curse can only be broken by sacrifice, and tonight it must be mine." Rowan groaned from the ground, his wound bleeding. "Don't leave us, old man." Elric smiled faintly. "The kingdom will live if I do not." Lightning flared as he slammed his staff into the stone, a shield of blazing light encircling the king and his soldiers. Lord Malric's eyes narrowed in fury. "Old fool, you trade life for dust." Elric whispered, "Then let dust bury you," before collapsing as the shield rose higher. The guardian wolf reappeared within the light, its silver eyes fixed on Sir Alden. Its voice thundered, "The shield buys time, but the curse demands a choice." Sir Alden clenched his sword. "Tell me." The wolf's form shimmered. "Slay Malric and the king may die with him. Spare Malric and the kingdom rots." Lady Seraphine gasped, lowering her bow. "There is no victory here." Rowan's voice cracked. "Alden, you must choose between crown and life." Sir Alden's face twisted in torment, as thunder rolled like drums of doom. The wolf lowered its head. "Destiny is not chains, it is the fire that consumes." The wolf faded into mist as silence gripped the battlefield. Steel clashed as King Edric battled Lord Malric in the heart of the courtyard. Sparks showered with every blow. "You betrayed the blood that crowned you," the king roared. Malric sneered. "I forged my own crown in shadow." Sir Alden charged forward, blade flashing. "This ends with me, Malric." Their swords met, the clash echoing like thunder. Rowan cried out, "Alden, the prophecy." But Alden pressed on, each strike fueled by rage and pain. Lady Seraphine loosed arrows, forcing Malric back for a heartbeat, but he deflected them with ruthless grace. "Your arrows cannot pierce ambition," Malric hissed. "Nor can your lies shield you," Alden snarled. Lord Malric feinted, striking King Edric across the chest, blood spilling. The king staggered, gasping. "Alden, protect the realm." Sir Alden lunged, fury igniting his cursed strength, driving Malric back with feral power. Malric laughed through the clash. "Your curse makes you my brother in ruin." Sir Alden bellowed, "I am no brother to traitors." Lady Seraphine sprinted forward, sword in hand, joining Alden. Rowan crawled closer, clutching his dagger, his voice hoarse. "Don't let him win." Sparks rained as Alden's blade locked with Malric's, both straining faces inches apart. "If prophecy chains me," Alden growled, "then I break it with your blood." The storm reached its peak as Sir Alden disarmed Malric with a furious strike, sending his blade spinning across the stones. Malric fell to his knees, snarling, "Strike me down, cursed knight, and you slay your king." King Edric collapsed nearby, blood pooling at his feet. Rowan cried, "The prophecy!" Lady Seraphine shouted, "Alden, choose!" Sir Alden's sword hovered at Malric's throat, his breath ragged, his scarred face twisted with agony. "If my curse makes me executioner, then so be it." Lightning split the sky as Alden's blade plunged. Malric's scream tore through the storm as the battlefield froze in horror at the choice. The battlefield was drowned in silence once the storm passed, smoke curling from shattered walls and blood pooling on the stones. Sir Alden stood over Lord Malric's lifeless body, his sword dripping crimson as thunder's echo faded into a ghostly hush. King Edric lay motionless, his crown cracked at his side. Rowan crawled to the king's side, his face pale with despair. "He breathes, barely," Rowan whispered, clutching the king's hand. Lady Seraphine approached slowly, emerald cloak torn, her eyes filled with sorrow. "The crown survives only by a thread." Sir Alden's voice broke as he said, "The prophecy demanded a price, and I paid it with blood." Master Elric's staff lay abandoned, still glowing faintly as if mourning its master's fall. The courtyard stank of ash, iron, and broken vows, and every survivor bowed their heads, knowing the kingdom's fate had been forever changed by the cursed knight's choice. Inside the war chamber, the survivors gathered around the wounded king. King Edric's voice rasped, "The crown weighs heavier than my failing heart." Rowan clutched his shoulder, still bleeding, and said, "You are the heart of Drakemont, Majesty. Without you, we are ashes." Sir Alden placed his sword upon the map table, his voice hollow. "The prophecy is broken, yet the curse remains. Every strike carved its chain deeper into my soul." Lady Seraphine reached for him, her hand trembling. "Then let me bear it with you, Alden. A curse is lighter when carried together." He turned from her, anguish carved across his scarred face. "Love cannot cleanse what fate has written." Silence thickened as torches flickered, each flame bending as if mourning the fallen. The chamber's walls seemed to close in, carrying the weight of betrayal, sacrifice, and the kingdom's uncertain dawn. Rowan sat in the stables, his wound bandaged poorly, his voice low as he spoke to a restless horse. "We lived through fire and storm, yet I wonder if I will live in memory at all." Sir Alden entered quietly, his armor dulled with scratches, his eyes heavy with grief. "You will live in me, Rowan. You carried me when prophecy threatened to drown me." Rowan laughed bitterly, then winced in pain. "The songs will call you the cursed knight who slew the traitor. I will be but a footnote." Alden knelt before him, gripping his shoulder. "No kingdom survives without shadows to guard it. You are that shadow, Rowan, and you shine brighter than any crown." Rowan's eyes welled as he whispered, "Then let me be remembered, even if only by you." Their silence was broken only by the steady rhythm of horses stamping nervously, as if they too sensed the kingdom's fragile fate. The throne room was eerily silent as King Edric was carried to his seat, frail but alive. Counselors gathered, whispering like vultures circling prey. Lady Seraphine stood at the king's side, bow discarded, her gaze sharp as steel. "The kingdom needs unity, not whispers," she declared. Sir Alden entered, his armor weighed down not by steel but by guilt. He looked upon the cracked crown and said, "The realm was defended, but the cost was trust." The counselors shifted uneasily, their eyes flickering between the king, the cursed knight, and the blood-stained throne. King Edric's voice, weak but steady, filled the chamber. "Drakemont breathes, but only because loyalty stood where betrayal struck." His words settled like stone, unshakable yet heavy with sorrow. At the castle's highest tower, Sir Alden stood alone beneath the fading storm, his sword driven into the stone at his feet. Lady Seraphine approached quietly, her voice soft. "The kingdom endures because of you." He did not turn. "The kingdom endures in spite of me. My curse brought death, even in victory." Seraphine stepped closer, her eyes shining with tears. "Curses end, Alden. Love does not." He looked skyward, rain dripping from his scarred jaw as he whispered, "Then let love be the curse I bear." Rowan's voice rose faintly from below, calling his name, reminding him he was not alone. Lightning faded into dawn as Alden's figure stood etched against the horizon, neither savior nor villain, but a legend bound to the realm's heart.